Hello everyone and welcome to day 29 of my 30-day coding challenge where I'll try to learn to code a fully functional website in 30 days. This was day 29. That means only one day left, right? So let's just get on to what I've been able to build today and let's just review it and see whether it's enough to be able to finish the project in the remaining one day. Right, invested about 3 to 4 hours today, 3.5 hours today. And yesterday I was able to finish the structure of HTML. At least I've shown you guys like how the web page, obviously there were no CSS done to it. So today I did the CSS and also did some JavaScript to it. So if you look at my screen, this is the JavaScript code and this one's the CSS code. Right, so CSS was pretty easy to implement. There wasn't much difficulty. JavaScript was a little bit difficult, especially when I was visiting it about after 15 days. So it was, yeah, I had to do a quick refresher of JavaScript first in order to go back to the syntax and also go back to the functionalities of its functions and the naming convention, which I was struggling with in the first place while I was doing JavaScript. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle when I started. So I did a quick refresher for about 40-45 minutes, which cleared some things up. And then with the help of VS Code, which is quite good, like, I mean, I was able to at least do the thing that I wanted to do in JavaScript. So it wasn't much of an issue because VS Code has been a great help, especially writing JavaScript. I was just able to like explain it in terms of functionality, what I wanted from it, and it was able to do most of the syntax, most of the function in a way and be done. Right, so let's just look into how the web page is looking like. If you see, so this is how it looks like. It has a little bit of CSS, it has a little bit of JavaScript functionality built in as well. And but what it doesn't right now, it doesn't have the betting and raising functionality built in, and it doesn't have the winning functionality. I haven't coded in like which hand should win if there are two hands on the table. So I need to code the poker rules essentially. So give it the hierarchy of the cards, like if you have these many cards on the table, so this particular permutation would win. And so basically code in the poker gaming logic. Otherwise you can see like I can there are players, like I can join in by, let's say I join in by the name of John and give it should see here like ID 3, John has joined the table. And though this is just my UI, like when different players would be joining in from their computer or from their laptop, their UI would be completely different. So this is just to troubleshoot the whole web page so that I can make sure that all the APIs or the tabs that I've coded in Go are functioning properly. So you see I have joined in with 1,000 chips and there is no, I haven't bet yet, and I am active, I am waiting, and I haven't dealt with cards because this hand is still in place. So once that hand is finished, then hopefully the system will deal cards to me. That's my hope. So I guess quite a bit of work is left in terms of debugging the whole thing because I haven't tested it for the edge cases yet, and I haven't tested it like, I mean, I've tested the buttons, I've tested the functionality that I've coded in, but there are a lot of errors that can happen when I am trying to sort of follow through with the gaming logic or with the poker logic. So those errors haven't been tested yet, but you can see it looks pretty neat. Like, I mean, I can play with the UI, make it more like a table shape, which I haven't been able to do that. And I can also put in the images for the cards. Right now it's 8 of clubs, this is king of spades, this is 6 of diamond. So I haven't put in the images for the cards, so that's why it looks like this. And as I keep building functionalities into it, I'll keep adding all these things that I want to, so that it becomes a pretty robust web app at least. And obviously there's no I have not included any money functionality to it, so it just like it just happens to I mean to instead of showing this $1,000, I meant it as a chips, but right now it shows as $1,000, but how I coded it as 1,000 chips. So I need to change that. So this is where I am right now. If you look into the code, this is JavaScript, which wasn't easy at all. So I needed to go back to, first of all, do the refresher course and then get help from VS Code for this functionality. And the other thing that I ran, that I had some trouble with was having the server set up, because earlier you remember that I have just set up a local host and I was using it as a server. But when I tried to combine that local host with JavaScript and with my Go code, it wasn't working at that time. So I had to add another, there's just a command in Go which makes sure that it has the access to all the JavaScript file, HTML file, and CSS file, so that it can render onto the local host from itself. So yeah, it becomes a little bit efficient, but I don't know if I were to host this web page to some other sort of cloud provider. So I don't know whether that would work or not. So it is just for the local host for this particular laptop right now. That's how it's sort of fetching things, as you can see in this UI as well. If I want to start the hand. So yeah, I still need to do a lot of work in terms of testing. I still need to see whether it's following all the logic and all the structure of the game that I intended to. And it's not like, it's not, I have, what I have been able to test so far is all these buttons. These buttons are working fine, but I have not been able to test for, let's say, edge cases in terms of, right now I have only coded maximum 6 player to play in this table. I need to try to add 7 or 8 players to see whether that functionality holds or not. So all these things will probably happen tomorrow, and quite optimistic that I would be able to finish it tomorrow, even though, like, yeah, I mean, I guess I might not be able to add all the functionalities that I discussed with you guys, such as raise and betting functionality, but I guess I want it to be at a level that I can play at least a game, even if it doesn't show the cards picture as of now. So yeah, that's what I intend to do tomorrow. For now, it looks pretty good. Quite happy with how it has turned out so far. I mean, coding in Go and then coding in HTML, CSS, JavaScript was not easy, especially if you haven't come from the technical background. But I believe the path that I followed was quite linear in terms of progression and in terms of acquiring skill as well. JavaScript was a little bit difficult for me, but as I said, even today, to remember all the concept, I was quite struggling a bit. But when I see a code written in JavaScript, I can sort of deduce like what is trying to do behind the scene, how it is querying or how it is changing the HTML on the web page, and what changes it is making when we click a button, and how it is rendering information in the web page. So at least, yeah, I probably won't be able to code the whole thing on my own, but if I see a code, I would be able to understand what's happening in it. So that's my current level of JavaScript, essentially. But as you can see, like, Go was about 700 lines of code. Then HTML was about 123 lines of code, and then JavaScript was again 200 lines of code. CSS was mainly copy paste for most of the things, so that's 265 lines of code, which wasn't which took me, like, I don't know, 30-40 minutes. It wasn't a huge effort in terms of time, but yeah, it was mostly deciding what style I want and what sort of colors I want. For now, I still need to tweak quite a few things from CSS, and then hopefully I'll be able to finish it tomorrow in time. That's my hope. That's pretty much it for myself for today. I invested about 3.5-4 hours to complete to get it into a position where I feel pretty much confident that I would be able to finish it tomorrow. And if not, then I'll probably be sort of increasing it by a day or so, not more than that. Great. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate your support so far. If you have any feedback for me, please give me in the comment, and I'll try to finish it tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.